I'm going to do the next two questions very similar to the way I did the first question. I'm going to be going through the same information that we just found. Suppose that 13% of the population is left-handed. So we're saying about we expect anytime we have a population going on in a room, we expect 13% of those people to be left-handed. I have a 200-seat auditorium, and it has been built with 15 lefty seats. That have a built-in desk on the left, blah, 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 so that you could actually write with your left hand. Some colleges, you're in big, huge auditoriums for your classes, so they have these little seats that have a little fold-out desk for you, and they have some lefty seats for those left-handed students. In a class of 90 students, what's the probability that there will be enough seats for the left-handed students? So, I'm going to look through my data here, and what I'm actually going to find, first of all, is right now, I like to go ahead and find my p-hat, meaning if I had 15 left-handed desks, 15 divided by 90 gives me 0.167-ish. So in this case, as long as I had less than about 16 or 17% of my students were left-handed, I'd be okay with my 15 left-handed seats. And in general, 13% of the population is left-handed. As long as we don't have an abnormal amount of lefties, we should be okay in this situation. So I'm going to go through and find some information. First of all, on average, 13% of a population is left-handed, so that's going to be my P in this case. P is 0.13. So if P is 0.13, that means Q is the rest of my 100%, and 1 minus 0.13 is 0.87. And my sample population here, my sample size here is, I believe, 90 students. We have 90 people in our class. So our mean was 13, and we're going to go ahead and find our standard deviation of our sample. And the formula is on your front page. It is P times Q over N. So in this case, it is 0.13 multiplied by 0.87. all over my 90 students. I'm going to type that in. If you guys want to type it in to make sure you can get it, I would suggest pausing your video. I got that to be 0.035 is my standard deviation. The next thing I'm going to do before I switch to do my normal curve is I'm going to go ahead and find my z-score. How many of these chunks of 3.5% is this going to be away from what it should be of my mean? So my z-score is always p hat minus my p over my, not over that, over my standard deviation. So in this case, it is 0.167 minus 0.13 all over my standard deviation, which is 0.035. So I'm going to go ahead and calculate that z-score, which I get this to be about we're going to call that 0.06. My z-score is 1.06. Meaning we're about a little bit more than 1 standard deviation above my mean in this given situation of 15 out of 90. Sorry, my kid's having the door terribly squeaky back there. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my normal curve. What should be happening is 13% of my population should be falling here. I'm going to go ahead and draw my 3 spaces here. We don't technically need all of these things. But I'm going to go ahead and draw them just so that the next week's lesson is going to be easier. So I'm going to add my 3.5%. So this is 0.165. I'm going to add another Sorry. I'm going to add another one, which is going to take me to 20%, and this would take me to 23.5% of my population being left-handed. And so then if I go down, I'm going to subtract. So this would be 0.095. Subtract another 3.5. Which is going to take me down to 6. And then subtract another 3.5, which is going to take me down to 2.5. So it'd be really rare to only have 2.5% of your population left-handed. So I'm going to go ahead and put my Z-score in this picture. My Z-score was 1.06, which was right here at 16, right here. Right here. That's 1 standard deviation above, realizing that it's about 16.7% of my students were left-handed. So the question that we ask in the beginning says, what's the probability that there will not be enough left-handed students? Enough handed seats for the students. That would be this, meaning what's the probability that I have more lefties than I do seats out of this group of 90? Why is it to the right of that? Is because it's more than that. So I already have my Z-score. My Z-score was 1.06. And I'm looking for the probability there are not enough seats. Meaning the probability that my sample population is greater than 0.167. And I'm going to do my normal curve again. So I have my normal CDF. And remember, I'm going here. So now this is my left bound. This is my low bound because it's on the left here. And I'm going to go all the way up to 999. So I'm putting in my Z-score on my lower bound. And I'm going to put a whole bunch of 9s up here in my upper bound because I'm not going to stop. So type your VARs. Go down to the normal CDF, 1.06. Put your 9999999s in. You're going to paste that into your screen, and you get 0.145, which is, if I write this here, 14.5%. So what did I just find? I found the question again here stated, what is the probability there will not be enough enough seats for the left-handed students? In this situation, if I have 90 students, I have 15 left-handed desks, and on average 13% of my students are left-handed. There's about a 14.5% chance that I do not have enough desks for my left-handed students. So what I want you guys to do is I want you to look at number 3 right now, and then I want you to do your best to try the question. Try it on your own. And what I'm gonna decide I'm gonna do is we are going to Google Meet, and if you are interested in me walking you through this question, then you can do that. You can come meet me on our Google Meet session. I think we're going to do this on Tuesday, the week after spring break. So that'd be Tuesday the 14th. And we'll walk through this question specifically together on our Google Meet session. But I would suggest trying to have it done ahead of time so you can see what your mistakes were as you walk through them. Don't forget to upload your notes for question number 1 and question number 2 so that I can see that you walked through, and send me any messages on Google Classroom if you have any issues. Hope you guys are doing well. Bye-bye.